Gymnasium, coming to you live from the campus of Faulkner University here in Coming to you live tonight from Tyne Davis Gymnasium on the campus of Faulkner University here in Montgomery, Alabama, ready to go for this Southern States Athletic Conference contest between the Lady Eagles of Faulkner, entering at 16-4, and the Blue Mountain Christian Toppers, coming in at 11-8 overall. Jeremy Smith alongside David Turner bringing you all of the action in this one. It is a rematch of a game earlier, not that long ago, earlier this month actually, when Faulkner went over and got the victory against Blue Mountain back on January the 9th, a 78-64 victory for the Lady Eagles on that day, part of what is presently a 5-game win streak for Reed Sutton's team. We'll give you the starting lineups first here tonight for Blue Mountain. Number 3, the 5'7" sophomore guard from Arlington, Tennessee, Sharman Taylor. Number 12, the 5'9" junior forward from Fulton, Mississippi, Janice Dabbs. Number 13, the 6' senior center from Holly Springs, Mississippi, Julia Nicholson. Number 23, the 5'7" sophomore guard from Arlington, Tennessee, Carmen Taylor. And number 24, the 5'5" senior guard from Cleveland, Alabama, Carissa Horton. The starters for Faulkner tonight, David Turner.
For the Lady Eagles, it will be number 4, Angela Grant, the redshirt senior center from Fort Walton Beach, Florida. Number 5, Nicoya Adams, the sophomore guard from Huntsville, Alabama. Number 25, Kenley Varnell, the senior guard from Bald Knob, Arkansas. Number 32, Neely Johns, this sophomore forward from Kiln, Alabama. And finally, number 33, Avaya Burrows, the sophomore wing from Lacey Spring, Alabama.
Noticeable by her absence tonight, unavailable this evening, is number 3, Morgan Holland, the second leading scorer on this team, averages 14 points a game. Neely Johns in the lineup in her place. You'll see a little bit of a difference in terms of the play style based on that change. John spaces it out a little more of a natural three-point shooter. Holland more of a combo wing player that can do a little bit of 3, a little bit of 2, a little bit of 4, whatever you need on a given night. So David Turner, the call for Neely Johns in this situation is to be yourself, not to try to fill the shoes of number 3, Morgan Holland, but to be the best version of yourself with this group that you can be.
Right. The biggest thing for her is going to be out defend at a high level and take those open shots when they're there and available, just like that.
That's a good look.
It is.
And for Faulkner, it's going to be about playing with control. This is a dynamic backcourt that Blue Mountain has. They average, as there's going to be our first foul of the ball game, they average 69.5 points per game. The bulk of that coming out of this guard unit, almost 16 a game from Sharman Taylor, 14 a game from Carmen Taylor, and then you also get 10 a game out of Kristen Guy. So it's a guard-heavy lineup here with Blue Mountain, and that's their strength. And they will turn you over if you let them and create some easy buckets as well. Each of the Taylor sisters averaging right at 2 steals per game.
And it's an interesting dynamic between these two teams. The guard heavy, of course. Faulkner counters with Nicoya Adams. A great take by Kenley Varnell straight to the rim. But also with Faulkner having the ability to go into Grant and punish on the inside.
Yeah.
So we'll see how much of that happens here early in this ball game.
Yeah, Faulkner much more of an inside-out team this season than they have been in years past. They only shoot 28% from beyond the arc. Blue Mountain likes to fill it up from beyond the arc. They shoot 34%. There's an attempt that's going to be off. Rebound to Nicoya Adams. She'll push the pace on the break. Takes it to the elbow, kicks it to Johns, back over to Burrows, drives downhill, dumps it to Grant, swings it out to Varnell, and out of the elbow, Johns thought about it, gave it up. There's Adams with 17 to shoot. The drive and the kick, and you're going to get a foul on the defensive end here, and it looks like it's going to be 23 Carmen Taylor, and it is. 2-all here with 8:02 to go in the opening quarter of play, and 20 on the shot clock for the Lady Eagles as Adams ready to inbound the basketball. There's Grant, ball screen, handoff there to Varnell, back over, Johns, open look 3, buried for Neely Johns. So Johns knocks it down. 5-2 lead for Faulkner, the first advantage of the ball game.
It was a great inbound play, getting Johns off those couple of screens down low, working off of them. The screen outside by Grant gave her all day to shoot that basketball and a good clean look.
It's one of the things, we talk about statistically the things that Angela Grant does and the difference that she makes in so many ways, but it's so much easier for Faulkner to get the ball inbounds when Grant's on the floor, because at 6'3" and with her strength, it's hard for anybody to take that away.
Oh, it absolutely is, and there's just not a lot out there like her in this league, at least, and she's a huge difference maker when you're feeding her and getting her involved offensively.
There's the drive downhill, kicks it over left side. That's a three, rattles off, tipped alive, and a great effort on the rebound, taken down by Julia Nicholson as she worked against Grant there. That one's going to be controlled by Adams. Throws it out to Johns. Down to the corner to Burrows. She thought about it. Now puts it on the deck, dribbles through, back across. Kick out, Johns. Swing up, Varnell. Right side, Adams on the attack. Falls down, gets rid of it. Johns, three. Buried again for Neely Johns.
Good start for Johns, hitting two good open looks, and Nicoya Adams somehow taps that ball out to her, and give her credit for that assist. That's 2 or 3 for her right off the bat here in this one.
Yeah, and we've seen Adams over the last few weeks, and you talk about the scoring barrage that she's had. Of course, 3 games in a single week where she averages over 20 points over that stretch, but it's the facilitating. It's getting everybody else involved over the last couple of weeks that I think has been the biggest difference in her game.
Absolutely. You've seen her make that concerted effort to get other people involved, and she's getting 5-6 assists a game over consistently for the past few weeks. And this Blue Mountain game that happened on the 9th back in Mississippi is one of those games that really got her on this roll. She had 25 in that ball game, and that set her on this mark for that 20-point average for a couple of weeks. Yeah,
and that's what you've been seeing out of her. It's been 22 points and 7 assists and 23 points and 6 assists. And, it's impressive to watch her let the game come to her. Like you've seen it early, she's not forcing shots. She's feeding the open looks, and then eventually – there's going to be nobody to help off of if all those shots are going down, and she gets a one-on-one matchup, and she's going to win more of those than she loses. Ball thrown into the front court. Now turnover. That was off the hand of Sharnita Brooks, the 5'6" senior guard out of Memphis, Tennessee. Number 11, who's in the ball game for Blue Mountain now. Also number 42, 6-foot senior out of Adamsville, Tennessee, Alexis Wynn. That feeds to Burrow in the middle, back out. 13 to shoot for Adams as she works it back toward the logo. Has a screen if she wants it. She'll take it. Adams stuck with it. Nice feed. Couldn't quite wrap it around to Grant. Now leading the break and pushing the issue is Brooks, and she lost the basketball.
Good quick hands of Aya Burrows. Just taps that one away and at least allows the defense to set up on this end of the floor.
So the inbound will come momentarily for Blue Mountain underneath the Faulkner goal. And travel call on Sherman Taylor. Again, Taylor, a very dynamic player. 15.6 points, 6.5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals a game. All conference numbers if you're into that sort of thing. Adams over the timeline of the basketball. Left side, Neely Johns on the deck with it. Now feeds it back out to Varnell. Skip pass. Adams, wide open 3. Rattles off. Grant, rebound put back good. So 12-2 is the lead for Faulkner right now. 5:20 and counting over the timeline. Working right. Back left. Skips it over. Works downhill. Up, left hand by Sharnita Brooks. Good.
What a take by Brooks. Right around the defender and up and under the outstretched arms.
Adams, Burrows, 3 off target. Taylor, the board, will bring it back the other way. On the deck with it. Step back, sends it over. That's Wynn. Lost it. And Neely Johns on the floor doing the dirty work. Burrows over the timeline now. Cuts in front of Grant. Pushes the issue on the wing, now back to the middle, gets on the pivot foot, up and in for Avaya Burrows.
Nice patience for Burrows, like you said, getting on that pivot foot, using it to spin back around and lose the defender. A good acrobatic move on her path.
Looking left, Varnell defends over the top of the screen. Win back over to Brooks. Open look three. Too strong. Taylor crashed the boards. Rebound put back. Easy for her. 8-point lead now for Faulkner with the basketball as Adams goes over the timeline. Left side to Neely Johns. Thought about it. Thought too long. Puts it on the deck. Gets herself back in rhythm and buries it. I like that by Johns because they didn't necessarily step out on her, but she felt herself get off rhythm and decided to move with it until she felt it again.
Get settled and find yourself right back in it or move the basketball. It's a good job by Johns. Great start. She's doing everything this team needs her to do so far in this ball game.
There's a block for Angela Grant. Back over to Win now. There's a three. Grant rotates out there as well. And that one out of bounds. Defensive team rebound. Subs in for the Lady Eagles. Burrows, Grant, and Adams will get a break. Ella Jane Connell in at point guard. Bring in Lainey Henderson and Bridget Johnson. Varnell stays as well, as does Johns. This is the unit they'll space with a little more. And that one stolen by Taylor. Varnell back to stop ball. Taylor stop and pop, misses the jumper. Rebound, Bridget Johnson out to Varnell. Varnell feels the pressure coming from behind and pushes it over the timeline. Works back across against the defense. Varnell kind of default point guard right now. Long pass, Lainey Henderson needed no time. High noon somewhere. She knocks it down 20-6, the quickest release we've seen in quite a long time in this league.
It is, and it's such a pretty shot when she's going and in rhythm, just like we saw right there. Able to hit in deep range, too.
That one too strong. Back iron tipped alive. Neely Johns will rebound it and lead the break herself. Over the timeline, feeds Bridget Johnson, and Johnson
have it traveled.
Yeah, had to come back for it because it was underthrown and traveled. So a little underthrown on that one. 20-6 with 2:43 remaining in the opening quarter. Over the timeline with the basketball now, that's Isabella Carlson, the 5'7" freshman out of South Haven, Mississippi. On the wing is Taylor. Back up, that's Brooks. Attacking downhill. Nice attack by Brooks to get that foul. You saw her tuck the ball and go in. She saw Johns off balance and went right at her.
That'll be the first foul on Johns. Just second team foul, about 2.5 minutes remaining here in this first quarter.
Into the ball game for Blue Mountain, number 24, the 6'1" freshman out of Bradford, Tennessee, Rebecca Walter in the ball game.
Brooks to the free throw line, 53% on the season, knocks the first one down.
Evia Burrows has returned to the lineup for the Lady Eagles. Brooks looking for the second and a 13-point deficit. She makes them both here. Ball triggered into Nicoya Adams, who's also back in the game now. Varnell takes her first break of the day. Johns as well. Adams, Henderson, gathered, shot, too short. Chased down her own rebound. Now she'll take it to the rack and be blocked, get her on board again. Feed Burrows. Burrows on the deck with it, and they'll call her for the travel. Just a little hesitation cost Burrows that time. I think if she goes straight up after the power dribble, she's fine.
I think she was trying to draw more of the contact than anything else in that situation. Like you said, she just takes that power dribble and goes up. She's probably got an easy bucket and impossible foul from it as well.
There's the attack downhill, pulled it, deflected, and stolen by Bridget Johnson. Gets it out to Connell, and now Adams will lead the break going the other way. Long pass, Burrows thought about it, fires it over. Henderson puts it on the deck, drives through, up, right hand too strong. Taylor the board. Blue Mountain brings it back the other way in a 12-point deficit with 90 seconds to play in the quarter. And one as Taylor takes it to the rack and draws the contact from Johnson. No. They put it on Ella Jane Connell, rather. Is that 2 on Connell already?
It's just her first.
Okay, the board has listed 2. I'm thinking that's a mistake. Free throw up and good. Adams on the ball in a 9-point game. Minute 25 to go in the opening quarter. Adams works it left. That's Burrows. Thought about it. It's got to give it up. Henderson. Connell. Adams. Step back. Knocks it down. Boy, when nobody's moving and nothing opens up for you, you just got to pull something. It's nice to be able to pull that out.
Yeah, that's a tough look. Adams makes it look easy in there. Well defended.
The feed to Walters. She gathers and feeds it out to Brooks. Off the screen. Brooks gets into the body of Bridget Johnson, and they go the blocking foul here. Let me see.
So that will put.
He held up a 1 and a 3, but
he did.
I think they realized
it's 3-0.
It's 3-0. Neely Jones in. Ella Jane Connell checks out. Henderson out. Varnell returns. Free throw coming from Brooks. That one's good.
Brooks already with 5 quick points off the bench for the Toppers.
One more coming from Brooks. An 11-point game here. 47.2 showing on the first quarter clock that will start running on the inbound. Adams over the timeline with it. She'll work right, now back left. The drive downhill, pulls it. Rebound. Taylor, you see how quick she wants to get things started coming back. Up top, Brooks. Downhill, fires it to Walters, up off the glass and good.
Great feed by Brooks. Right underneath. The defender came up to help her on the drive. Walters flashes. She hits her right in stride. Easy bucket and cuts this lead.
It's an 8-point game as Faulkner holds for last here with 9 seconds left in the quarter. Adams tries to split 2 defenders. It rolls to Varnell. Varnell picks it up, loses it, gets it out of her hand, and fouled by Walters. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. They got lucky twice that time.
Lucky to keep the ball and then lucky on the foul as Varnell just trying to heave it up at the last second. 0.4 showing on the clock. Yeah. Varnell now at the line for 2.
Really lucky to keep it twice because Adams lost it. It rolled to Varnell, and then Varnell lost it and was able to pick it back up.
Varnell 52% from the free throw line on the season.
8-point game, 0.4 of a second on the clock as Varnell makes a second. 24-15 your score. They'll have enough time to get it in and nothing else. We go to the second quarter on the Faulkner Sports Network. (24-15) is your score. Faulkner with a lead. Starters on the floor for the Lady Eagles as Adams takes it over the timeline. Defended by Brooks. Works right. Back off the right wing now out of the corner, looking for help. Johns. There it is to Burrows. And a foul going to be called on Taylor.
Lady Eagles lucky to get that foul called on Taylor. Brooks doing an incredible job defensively on Adams on that possession.
Yeah, I was going to say that Brooks has come into this game and really has gummed up the works, as it were, because she's taken away the passing lanes and she's playing Adams tight, not letting her have space. And that one nearly stolen by Brooks. Burrows recovers. Burrows the drive all the way, missed it. Angela Grant tried to rebound it, had it poked out. Johns, Adams, got to move the ball down to Grant. That's a good place to move it. Turn around, left hand won't go. Got her on board and called for the foul again, I think, will be Taylor.
Yeah, that is Taylor.
2 now on Taylor. So you're going to get Carissa Horton into the ball game as well as Julia Nicholson. Taylor checks out, as does Walter. So they called a tech on Charmin Taylor. That's now her third. So Johns will go to the line. Wow.
That is huge for this Blue Mountain team.
Yeah, that's Blue Mountain's most dynamic player for sure. So she got called for the foul, the personal on the rebound battle there with Grant, and then I guess said something.
Had to have said something.
So got a tech. So it's her third personal, and they've all come in about the last 45 seconds of actual clock time. So she is on the bench for an indeterminate period of time here.
Presumably the rest of the half, you would think.
Yeah, unless it just gets out of hand and you got to put her back in. 26-15. 9:17 to go in the second quarter of play. Adams will back it out as Johns knocked down both those free throws on the tech. Johns now in double figures. Skip pass. Adams corralled it. Somehow didn't step out of bounds. And look at the hesitation by Adams. She's patented that move.
She has.
Where she can hang in the air, get that extra little bit of hesitation in the air, and almost change the shot. She's gotten really good at that. Back iron too strong off the jumper. Varnell steals the rebound or the pass off the offensive board. Misses the layup. And Burrows tried to put it up and has it knocked off her body. 28-15 is the score. .36 on the clock. Into the front court, Isabella Carlson. Back up, now over to the right side, that's Brooks. Brooks back out to Horton. Left side, the drive downhill, Taylor in and out and then in again. Thrown into Adams. Adams over the timeline, off the screen from Grant.
Good
feed to Grant on the give and go. Layup right hand by Angela Grant.
That is textbook pick and roll basketball right there with Grant and Adams. Grant set a good strong screen up top. Adams uses it incredibly well, and the great little pocket pass is rebound now by Adams.
Yeah, you don't see that executed very often in the modern game, but very well executed that time. And that's the other thing about Grant that we talk about. She plays so well in the low post. She can function in the high post quite well. It's just not a thing you see very often. Adams picks up the foul there. Ball thrown in. Looking to Horton. Back right side. Off the screen. The drive downhill. Passes back to Horton. No good, and Grant the board. There's Adams. She'll step back, pull it, too strong. Rebound back to Blue Mountain is Taylor on the ball. Over the timeline. Drives downhill with the right hand, won't go. Burrows the board, gets it out to Varnell. Varnell nearly lost it. Snatched it back out. There's Johns and Varnell again. Three, no good. Tipped alive off of Avaya Burrows, they say. Laney Henderson will check in. Avaya Burrows checks out. Brooks will inbound the back, or Taylor rather. No, it is Brooks. I apologize. I saw 23 for a second, then I realized, no, it's 11 throwing the ball in. What am I thinking? Brooks to the elbow. Step back. Back iron too strong. Rebound taken down. Going the other way is Varnell. She'll work left. Back right. Gives it up to Johns. Dump down to Grant. Grant puts it on the deck. Goes around her defender and got fouled. No, they call the travel.
She did travel, but the foul was first.
Yeah. So Grant checks out. Bridget Johnson checks in. 13-point lead for Faulkner with 6:21 on the clock. Ball thrown in. That is number 22, Isabella Carlson, on the basketball. Works right. Downhill. Kicks into the corner, back up top. Taylor, three, off target. Bridget Johnson, a tough board, and she and Carissa Horton get tangled up.
It's a good job by Horton recognizing that the ball was brought down where she could get to it and just attack it, and it steals a possession for Blue Mountain.
Carissa Horton, a senior on this Blue Mountain team, has played an awful lot of basketball in this league. Ball into Taylor. Drives to the elbow. Yeah, might have been blocked.
I think Varnell got a piece of that.
There's Johnson. Nice feed to Varnell. She gets blocked on the other end. And Blue Mountain basketball. You know, Reed Sutton, his defense is playing well, but they've not been able to parlay it into runs here. And they've been staying right around this same 10 to 13-point lead for a while, despite getting these stops. That's the kind of thing against a team with a guard play like Blue Mountain that can come back and bite you if you don't go ahead and make a run.
It really can. If you don't get that early lead, may turn them into a deep jump shooting team. If they can continue to drive and penetrate and get that action, that's what they're wanting to do, as it happens right here.
Off the back iron, and Adams rebounds it, and then stolen again by Blue Mountain. So they're just taking possessions here and going to get themselves right back in it, as there's a three by Taylor that's buried. Make it a 10-point ball game with 5:06 to play as Carmen Taylor knocks it down.
And Carmen Taylor, a 37% three-point shooter on the season, so she is very adept at hitting that shot. Her and Charmin Taylor both. Charmin Taylor's over 38%.
Right wing, Neely Johns with the answer. Too strong. Adams will try to chase it down and throws it off the defender, but stepped on the line first. That'll get us to the media timeout. This is the Faulkner Sports Network.
I don't know if there's anything I like better than good barbecue. Full Moon has the best barbecue and best smoked wings in town, and those onion rings are out of this world. Go by after the game and use your ticket for a buy one, get one free barbecue sandwich. Say hi to Chris in person at 7660 East Chase Parkway, or give him a call at 334-676-5999.
.436 to go in the second quarter of play, and a 10-point lead as Wynn pulls that three and buries it. And we talked about it a moment ago. Faulkner was getting stops, but they couldn't parlay them into offense. So a 13-point lead's now down to 7.
Back into a fight, and you've got a topper team now that has some confidence and some rhythm about themselves on the offensive end. All they need is a few more stops. And there's one.
The steal. Well, and the other side of this for Faulkner is you want to get this lead as big as you can while Carmen Taylor's on the bench. Grant rebounds the basketball, and they're going to call somebody for a foul down here.
Somebody did something. I think they're getting Carmen Taylor on the hold. No, 30. It's going to be on 32. That's Carissa Horton.
So they get Carissa Horton with that one. It's her first. Sharnita Brooks will check back in. Taylor will check out. Adams awaits the inbound. Over the timeline. Left side, that's Connell. Back up to Grant, swings it over to the right. That's Varnell. Henderson on the deck. 10 to shoot now. Dump down to Grant at the elbow. Adams puts it on the deck through. Tries to feed Grant. Gathered. Kick. Connell. 3. Buried. The assist to Angela Grant. Nice pass out of the post to set that up.
It was good patience all the way around by Adams not to rush, take that shot, kick it to Grant, and then Grant, like you said, recognized that shot was open on the outside and pass it right back out to Connell.
Yeah, defense helped down on to Grant when the ball went down there, and everybody forgot about Connell on the wing. And that's the element of Ella Jane's game that she's continued to work on trying to grow, the ability to space the floor. 10-point lead here. Fight on the floor for the ball. Brooks wins it, but it's a shot clock violation. So Faulkner defends for the full 30, and they're rewarded. Lainey Henderson will throw it in to Nicoya Adams. Adams over the timeline. Works it left side, Henderson. There's Connell. Grant. Varnell. There's Henderson. Pulls it. Too strong. Varnell tries to run it down, but Brooks comes up with it. Brooks nearly lost it, but saved it from going out of bounds. Wynn and now Taylor. Taylor back out to Wynn and now right side. Carlson. Up top, that's Taylor. Back to Wynn. And she buries it from well beyond the top of the key. And that's effective because it pulls Angela Grant all the way out to the perimeter.
Yeah, and that's the second time Wynn's hit that shot already in this game. Hasn't taken just a ton of threes, but she shoots just over 30%. So she is effective out there.
There's Varnell. Varnell working right, 3 to shoot. Lainey Henderson didn't need that long. Loose ball. Rebound Blue Mountain. It's still a live ball. 90 on the game clock. Wynn again. Buried that one. Alexis Wynn has found it from deep. She's got 9 points, and all of them from out there.
And it's down to a 4-point ball game with minute 17 remaining here in the half.
Adams dumps it to Grant. And they call a travel on Angela Grant. (33-29) with 1:11 to go. Grant checks out. Johnson checks in. We talked about Blue Mountain likes to shoot the three. They're better at it just comparatively than Faulkner is. And there's Wynn again. That one too strong. Burrows will board it and lose it. Loose ball on the floor. Avia Burrows wins that. Gets it to Lainey Henderson. She's trapped. Ella Jane Connell. Faulkner with numbers now. Ella Jane will push it. She feeds back to Burrows. Back to Johnson. She gets blocked. The hesitation by Burrows allowed the defender to kind of catch up there. I think she had the shot. She just didn't realize it.
Yeah, Burroughs probably took one too many dribbles going to the basket. She should have pulled maybe that little floater a little sooner. But as it is, still Lady Eagle basketball.
Johnson. Adams pulls it. No good. Burroughs tries to chase it down, and they'll say out of bounds off Blue Mountain. 35 on the game clock, 7 on the shot clock. Somebody's got to trigger it in. It will be Adams.
This is where you might try to run something for Adams after she inbounds the basketball.
They will. Ball screen handoff. 3 to shoot. It's going to be a tough look. Pulls it off the iron. No good with the right hand. Shot clock's off. 25 on the game clock as Blue Mountain trailed by 13 at one point. They're down just 4 with the ball as we close this half.
Looks like they're going to settle for last shot, go for their best look here. 13, now 12 on the clock.
Working left off the screen from Wynn. Back to Wynn. Pulls it. Too strong. Faulkner a chance to get a look off if they can do it quickly. Connell heaves it. Too strong. And Faulkner will lead 33-29 going to halftime. But all that momentum swung toward the Blue Mountain side.
It absolutely has. Blue Mountain did a great job weathering that storm and then responding. Of course, a lot of that came off the big threes that were made coming off the bench by Alexis Wynn. As you mentioned, 9 points for her in the half, and she is a huge reason as why this leads all the way down to 4.
Yeah, and look, for Faulkner, they've shot it abnormally well for them today. 6 of 12 from beyond the arc. Blue Mountain 4 of 11 from beyond the arc, but all 4 of them in the second quarter on those makes, whereas Faulkner had 5 makes in the first quarter. So the arc and the shooting from deep built that lead for Faulkner, and the shooting from deep erased it for Blue Mountain's part. So the biggest things that I think you look at, and you're dead even in so many categories. You're 19 apiece on the boards. The offensive rebounding and defensive rebounding numbers identical for each team. 5 offensive boards, 14 defensive boards. Points off turnovers, it's only 6-5. Turnovers, it's only 7-6. Points in the paint, it's only 10-8. You're dead even in almost all of these categories.
It's really just shooting percentages is what it comes down to. Shooting 38.7% from the floor for the Lady Eagles and 31 for Blue Mountain. That's really your difference.
That's it. So we head to halftime with Faulkner up 33-29. We're back in about 14 minutes on the Faulkner Sports Network.
Bless the corners of this house and be the lintel blessed. Bless the hearth and every board and each place of rest, and every door that opens wide to stranger as to kin, and every crystal window pane that lets the starlight in. At home, I'm going home for solace and safety, home where the world will not break me, home. Never forsake me, take me home.
"37 words that transformed higher education and college athletics.
No person in the United States shall,
on the basis of sex,
be excluded from participation in,
be denied the benefits of,
or be subjected to discrimination
under any education program or activity,
receiving federal financial assistance.
Did you know that 100% of Faulkner's computer science graduates
since 2014 have found jobs
in their fields within 6 months of graduating?
We live in the information age where you either use a computer or you get left behind. Are you ready for your future? Faulkner's computer science program is your gateway to a leading-edge career with purpose.
I built church websites, and through the training and instruction that I received from Faulkner, I was able to go right into my career after graduation.
It laid a solid foundation for what you need to know.
At Faulkner, there are many kind and knowledgeable people that are eager to help you prepare for the future.
In the U.S., there are predicted to be over 400,000 job openings each year for computer specialists with median wages well above average. What you learn at Faulkner will give you control of what your future looks like. Our faculty has an average of 16 years of industrial experience and is ready to navigate you to a bright future as a computer scientist. Come join us at Faulkner University. Your future is worth it.
At DoubleTree by Hilton, we believe in nice. Not your okay, fine, just being polite kind of nice, but a genuine nice. The kind that's contagious, that you can't help but take with you. The kind of nice you want to share with others. But don't take our word for it. Come for a stay and help us prove nice travels. Book at DoubleTree.com.
My name is Mikey Peavy. I'm the third generation here at A&P Auto. Looking for a good used pickup truck? We got them. A good used car? We got them. A good SUV? We got them. Come see us at A&P Automotive today.
Connections matter now more than ever. At Guardian Credit Union, we live to make connections, to provide hope, to strengthen our communities, to create stronger financial future. These connections happen in our credit union, in serving our communities, and even in the small moments of sharing a bench with a neighbor. Connect to your goals. Connect to your community. Connect with Guardian.
Sell online tickets directly from your school's website. Scan digital or printed tickets with the Hometown Gate app. And get immediate access to ticket revenue with real-time reporting. At no cost to your school. It's that easy to bring touchless ticketing to your hometown. Hometown. Fast scans, happy fans.
Back here live, second half underway. Tyne Davis Gymnasium, 33-29 is the lead. For Faulkner, they led by 13 at one point. But the three-point shooting of Alexis Wynn got Blue Mountain right back into it. Adams working top of the key. 9 to shoot, Varnell. Kicks it, Burrows, no hesitation on that one. Off target, rebound taken down, going the other way, Sharnita Brooks. And Adams, they got to call that one. They do call it. I think if Brooks had stayed on her feet, they may not have, but it definitely was disrupting the play.
It seems that was the case as long as it took him to blow the whistle.
There's the left hand, and it drops. 33-31 now. Back to within one possession are the Toppers. Burrows to Grant, turnaround won't go. And look, we talked about the three-point shooting of Alexis Wynn. She is doing an effective job on Angela Grant because she's not letting Grant execute her post moves. And one of the things about Grant that makes her so good, not only is she skilled and 6'3", normally she's got a lower center of gravity than whoever's defending her. That's not the case with Alexis Wynn.
Yeah, Wynn did a great job bodying her up and just pushing her off of her spot. Great pass, Taylor to Taylor.
Tie ball game, so all that work from the first quarter done now. It's gone. Back to where we started with 8:38 to go in the third quarter. Johns thought about it. The drive, right hand off the glass won't go. Rebounded via Burrows. And a foul on somebody. Alexis Wynn called for it. So the first on Wynn. Adams will inbound. Got it to Grant, hand off Varnell. Back to Johns. Off that screen from Grant, and the rebound went right to Adams, and she missed it. Burrows back out with it. Varnell, Adams, three, buried from Nicoya Adams.
It's just too close there right at the rim. She had to back it up a little bit.
Yeah. 8 points now for Adams. The lead goes to 3. Working into the front court with the basketball is Carlson. Works downhill. The attack, right hand won't drop. Johns will clear it. Off and running are the Lady Eagles. She'll slow up and then throw it away. Then steal it right back, and now a foul call. So as they administer that foul, email comes in from Steve and Eileen Plew, who are watching the Lady Eagles against Blue Mountain. That's Angela Grant's other grandparents, watching from Gainesville, Florida area tonight. So great to hear from you guys as they wish the Lady Eagles success tonight. They say go number 4, Angela. We will be joining them for the away game Thursday night at Bruton Parker, praying for safety for both teams on the court. Thank you for the great broadcasting. Great to hear from you guys. Reed Sutton St. Linda emails us as well, all the way up in Wayne, Pennsylvania, where she is watching the Faulkner Lady Eagles tonight, and she says prayers up for Reed's dad, Randy. We certainly will remember Randy Sutton in our prayers as he has a medical procedure tomorrow. 1 point game now, 7:18 to go as Adams looks to work downhill, and they call her for the double dribble. If you are out there, you want to let us know, email us fsn@faulkner.edu. fsn@faulkner.edu. Tell us who you are watching for, where you're watching from, fsn@faulkner.edu. That is a full timeout. We'll take it with them.
Connections matter now more than ever. At Guardian Credit Union, we live to make connections, to provide hope, to strengthen our communities, to create stronger financial future. These connections happen in our credit union, in serving our communities, and even in the small moments of sharing a bench with a neighbor. Connect to your goals. Connect to your community. Connect with Guardian.
36-35, 7:15 to go here in the third quarter of play. Faulkner with the lead, Blue Mountain with the ball. Carlson into the front court. Kicks it over. Brooks down the baseline, back out. 17 to shoot, into the lane, pulls it. No good. Grant the board.
5th rebound for Angela Grant on the night with that one.
Adams spins, kicks, Burrows sets it up, shoots it, rims it off. Grant board number 6, and it's going to be a backcourt violation. 36-35 with 6:44 to go in the third. Blue Mountain basketball. Ball thrown in over the timeline. Works left, kicks it in the corner. Brooks, buried. Blue Mountain takes the lead for the first time since the early going. They're up 38-36. A 15-point swing from their largest deficit. Adams to Johns. Johns out, Burrows on the deck. Stolen that time, going the other way is Taylor. Lead and ball for the Toppers. Missed it. Burrows the board. Gets it out to Varnell. Varnell off and running. Defended by Taylor all the way. Varnell. The drive through, up. Grant will pick up the miss after the block and put it up there.
Right place, right time for Angela Grant. Picks up that loose basketball. That now has her at 8 points here on the night.
Working right, back left. Brooks into the lane, kicks it, win, in and out, rebound Grant. And a foul call on Sharnita Brooks. That's the first on Brooks, second on Blue Mountain this quarter. 38 all, 5:24 to go in the third. Avaya Burrows checks out, Laney Henderson into the game. This is Faulkner's best unit for spacing. Their 4 best three-point shooters all on the floor right now. Johns to Henderson. Varnell. Varnell works over the top of the key. Johns, 9 to shoot. Varnell drives,
Good
feeds.
pass.
The move to space by Grant and Varnell saw it. The defender never followed.
That's exactly what it was. Grant saw Varnell coming in, just moved to the other side of the lane, giving her more space. Varnell does a tremendous job keeping her head up and making that easy pass. Give her an assist.
2-point lead now. Taylor into the corner. Carlson down the baseline. Nice up and under move. Can't get it to go, and Grant grabs the rebound, and you're going to get a whistle and a foul called on Carlson.
I believe that's the 9th rebound now for Grant. It is to go with her 10 points, so about at her double-double.
That gets us to the media timeout in the third quarter. 2-point lead for Faulkner. This is the Faulkner Sports Network. 40-38 your score. 4:20 and counting in the third quarter. Faulkner the lead in the ball. Henderson downhill to the block, up with the right hand, won't drop, but a nice tough take there, and you like to see that out of Henderson. Brooks pulls the three off target. Henderson the board. Adams into the front court with it. Gets to Brooks and backs it out again. Henderson over. Varnell trying to give it up to Adams. 15 to shoot. Adams to Grant. Grant saw the shot clock running down and said, well, might as well.
Might as well.
Tried to
that was as good a look as any.
Yeah, less of a shot and more of a try to oop it to myself, I think, as she chased it immediately. 40-38. You can't see it on camera from the angle, but we saw the look on Grant's face when she saw the shot clock. It was one of those, man. Left wing, working downhill, back out, up top. There's the drive. Won't get it, but gets her own rebound. The follow won't go. Grant clears it. I think that's board number 10.
It is.
Adams will handle the ball into the front court. Adams to the block. Back out to Johns. Adams dumps it down to Grant through the help defense, and they're going to call a foul on Taylor or –
it's on Taylor. That's her fourth.
Wow, that's 4 on Taylor here in the third quarter. All right. Well.
And they'll bring in Janice Dabbs for her.
Dabbs returns to the lineup. Varnell gets it into Henderson. You see, though, Blue Mountain selling out to deny Angela Grant the basketball in the post as there's guard help over the top every time. And Varnell takes advantage of the lack of attention her way.
That was good take for Varnell. Hitting that runner over top of the defense.
That left hand rattles off. Rebound, fought for, out of bounds, and they're going to give it to Faulkner. Oh, I think Faulkner got away with one there.
To me, it looked like it went off Dobbs. It did.
Okay.
It did. At least from the far court, back to you.
Hey, listen, that's fine. I just saw 2 gray jerseys.
There were 2 gray
out
jerseys.
A blue jersey, and I saw Varnell's leg kick up and the ball go out of bounds. So I don't know. Adams, hand off Varnell. Varnell backs it out. Splits 2 defenders up with the right hand. Won't drop. Grant another rebound. Burrows pulls it, nails it. A rebound and an assist for Angela Grant on that one. 6-point lead, 8-0 run. Horton works right now, back left. Stuck with it, feeds Brooks. Runs into Burrows.
Gonna put the foul on Varnell, looks like it is.
All right, the reach on Varnell.
Just her first. Third team foul here in the quarter. 1:40 remaining in this third quarter.
There's the feed to the block and laid in well by Dabbs.
Dabbs, nice job using those screens, rolls right to the basket, seals her defender, able to catch and score. A good inbounds play.
It snapped an 8-0 run. Adams off the pass from Burrows. Back to Adams now. The drive downhill, up, under the end, makes the shot. Tough of a look as she'll have all night, and she made it look easy.
Ability to float through, go underneath the arm of the defender, and still lay it up and in. Impressive by Adams.
Minute to go in the third. Up top, right side. Turns the corner downhill. Right hand won't go. Rebound, Lainey Henderson. Inside a minute to go in the third quarter. Left side, Adams, 3, all in rhythm, won't go. Dabbs the board. Dabbs gets it out. Horton over the timeline, 38 to play in the quarter. She'll bag it out. 3, no good. Out of bounds with 9/10 of a second is the difference between shot and game. Bridget Johnson and Neely Johns are in. Angela Grant and Lainey Henderson are out. 46-40. Nicoya Adams with the basketball. See if Sutton's squad tries to hold for last in the quarter here. There's Burrows. Varnell deflected. Johns gets there. 15 to play. There's Adams. Hand off Burrows. Johns, open look three. Buried by Neely Johns. She's got 14. Blue Mountain can get a quick look here, maybe. It's not a good one, but Horton still put it online.
Neely Johns, you said it, 14 points, but 4 for 4 from behind the three-point line here tonight.
So 49-40. Faulkner ends the quarter on a 13-2 run. We go to the fourth in a moment, Faulkner Sports Network.
A&P Automotive is family-owned and in the same location since 1985. We strive to be your one-stop shop for all your auto needs. You don't have to spend big money for a nice car. Our prices start at $3,995. We have several lenders and in-house financing available. Visit us online at anpautomotive.com.
Blue Mountain basketball on that end of the floor. Controlling it right now is Rebecca Walter, number 24, who's checked in the game, I believe, in the post. That is when she misses her first shot, grabs a rebound, lays it back up and in. Alexis Wynn, been a spark off the bench for Blue Mountain here tonight. That puts her in double figures with 11.
Yeah, I don't think you can say enough as Burrows gets fouled by Wynn. I don't think you can say enough about the job she's done on both ends of the floor.
No.
And additionally, Sharnita Brooks off the bench. The numbers aren't going to jump out at you, but Sharnita Brooks has affected both ends of the floor tremendously.
Oh, she absolutely has. She's got 9 points here in the ball game, but her biggest factor to me is defensively.
Yeah.
She's done a really good job on Nicoya Adams,
Yes.
making things difficult for her, not allowing that dribble penetration and shutting some of those driving lanes down for the Faulkner guards.
Yeah, and Faulkner had the first quarter is one of their best offensive quarters we've seen all season. And Brooks just came in and slowed everything down. And now she bears a three and says, my numbers look good too, by the way.
They do.
12 points.
12 points.
50-45. Blue Mountain down only 5 now. Burrows pulls it. No good. Back iron. And Brooks with a rebound. There she goes again. Brooks, a spark plug, leads the offense the other way. Pulls it again. Front iron, no good. And Bridget Johnson the board.
You saw the speed at which Brooks likes to play, and she is capable of it, staying within herself. 3 for Neely Johns, offline.
And Brooks steals that rebound out of the hands of Avaya Burrows. Sharnita Brooks is really good. You just watch her play, especially defensively. You don't reckon she ever gets crossed up. The drive downhill, the right hand up and in, and she's got 14. That'll cut it to 3, and Reed Sutton says, timeout, let's get things back moving again. And this has been the story of this game. It's been punch, counter punch. Blue Mountain will take a series of punches, but Faulkner can't land the knockout blow. Blue Mountain keeps fighting right back into it.
Fighting right back in, and a lot of it comes back down to the offensive end. Is little lack of ball movement on that end of the floor for the Lady Eagles here in these stretches. where they've allowed Blue Mountain to come back in this game because they're moving the basketball, they're getting good looks, and they're getting great production off their bench. They've got 29 points off the bench right now in this point of the ball game.
Yeah, and Alexis Wynn and Sharnita Brooks, the bulk of that. And when you can go to your bench and pull two seniors that have played the minutes in this league that they've played, and that's the key thing. Sharnita Brooks, Alexis Wynn, both seniors, both have been at Blue Mountain the entirety of their careers. They know this league. They know they've played in every gym and every environment against every player in this league. And that kind of value coming off your bench, it's really hard to overstate, and it's been huge for them tonight.
Yeah, and arguably you would think for some other teams they might be starters for those programs.
Sure.
Especially with the amount of minutes and all, like you said, that they've played.
So, 3-point ball game. Grant back in the game. Interestingly, Bridget Johnson stays. So, Faulkner with its top two post players in the ball game right now, along with Burrows, Varnell, and Adams. Taylor tried to jump the pass. Varnell able to get to it. 19 to shoot. Dump down to Grant. Fires it to Adams, who can't catch it, and she grabs her knee. I think she might have knocked knees there with Wynn. She's hobbled getting up. Johns will check in. Bridget Johnson checks out. Adams trying to walk off that stinger of sorts there. Ball thrown into Johns. Adams can't. You saw it there. She couldn't get started like she wanted to. Favoring that leg as she dribbles across the front. Maybe it's just a numbness situation. Jumper just off target. 50-47. Adams, we watch closely. She moves a little better now, going back on the defensive end. That's a big three. Could tie it. It misses. Gets her own rebound. Taylor underneath. Kicks it out and called for a travel. So 3-point lead with 7.5 to play in regulation. I know you shivered a little bit at the utterance of that word, regulation. Adams over the timeline.
Had our fair share of those this past month.
We have that one rebounded by Wynn. Gets it out to Taylor. Taylor gets into the body of Adams, spins off of it, misses the shot though. Adams will lead the break here. And has it poked out from behind by Carissa Horton. Grant called for the foul, but not a bad one.
Yeah, that's not the worst foul in the world at all.
Faulkner just out of sorts right now.
Biggest thing is that sends Brooks to the free throw line where she's perfect on the night.
.6:55 on the clock. Brooks, first one, cuts it to 2. I think you said she's 53% coming in.
Yeah,
this
52.5, yeah.
Yeah. That number doesn't matter right now.
It will go up from here.
It will. 50-48. One more coming. Missed that one.
And a lane violation from someone.
She's going to get another look at it.
Things that you can't have happen. Let somebody else get a free look at the rim.
So Brooks, another look at it here. Try to cut it to 1. She made that one. Perfect tonight is Sharnita Brooks. 50-49. 1-point lead for Faulkner. Adams over the timeline. Back to Grant. Hand off Johns. Johns to Grant. Back over to Burrows. Burrows the drive off the glass and good. That's the kind of decisiveness you like to see out of Avia Burrows.
That's exactly what she needs to do. That's 7 points for Avia Burrows. She's got 5 rebounds to go with that as well.
52-49, handoff Taylor. Left side, Brooks down in the corner, Horton. Back up, Brooks. Off the screen, a win. Horton, 3. Back iron, no good. Rebound, Varnell. Varnell on the deck with it. Over the timeline. Off the screen of Grant, back over. There's Adams. Adams to Johns, 15 to shoot. There's Adams. Screen coming from Grant. She'll use it. Back out, Burrows, 3. Off the front iron, Alexis Wynn will grab it. They try to force the jump ball. She gets it out of there. 25 on the shot clock as Brooks crosses the timeline. Taylor out of the corner. Buried, and we got a tie ball game with 5:25 to play.
Taylor with all her foul trouble here on the night. That gets her in double figures. She's got 12.
Hand off. There's Grant right back to Adams. Ahead to Burrows. Good hesitation. Gets it to go off the glass.
Smart play via Burrows, like you said, using that hesitation head fake allows the 2 defenders to go right by. That opens up that window for her at the basket.
2-point lead for Faulkner, 5 minutes to play. Win, Taylor. Taylor downhill. Rebound, Angela Grant. Gets it out to Adams. Ahead to Johns. Johns will pick up the tempo. Taylor beats her to the spot and takes the basketball. Adams with a foul, and again, not the worst one. Just slow the break and let yourself catch your breath. 3 on Nicoya Adams. It should be the media. They'll say ref says no media. Reed Sutton says why no media? Media says why no media?
The ref said already taken it, supposedly.
Yeah, listen, that's another – of all the weird things we've seen this year, how crews handle the media timeout differently has been a stunner to me, because that has been the most consistent, hard and fast thing in the game, and now some crews don't even take them. So, I don't know. Adams gets the basketball. And that's the thing that bothers coaches, because they plan their strategy around having that media. You save a timeout earlier.
Knowing it's in your pocket.
Yeah,
right.
And then they take it from you. Tie ball game. Johns to Adams. Downhill. Back out. Varnell downhill. Pulls it. No good. Rebound Grant. Dribbles it out of there. Gets it out to Johns for 3. No good. So 3:49 to play. Tie ball game. Timeout, Faulkner. This is the Faulkner Sports Network presentation. Faulkner Lady Eagle basketball. $54 all, 3:48 to play, Blue Mountain basketball. Toppers. Working right is Brooks. Missed it, rebound Grant. Adams into the front court. John sets herself too strong off the jumper. The only disadvantage of that fast break three is you're going to have anybody down there to rebound. Horton for the lead, gets it.
No rebounder, and then long rebound ends in transition for Blue Mountain coming the other way.
Johns to Adams. Slow down, let Grant get down the floor. Faulkner down 2. Again, they started this quarter up 9, and there's a 3 from Burrows.
Puts her in double figures. She's got 12.
57-56. Burrows with a big second half here. She had just 2 points in the first half. Travel call.
Good collapsing defense by the Lady Eagles on that end. Both Johns and Grant with the help defense.
Julia Nicholson will check into the ball game. Alexis Wynn checks out. 57-56 is your score. Adams over the timeline. Off the screen of Grant, pulls it from the elbow. Grant gets the rebound and one. That ball rebounded Grant, came off the bottom of the rim, hit her in the face. Then she got fouled as she put it back up. So she'll go to the line with a 3-point lead and a chance to make it a 2-possession game. Fouls on Horton, her second.
Grant to the free throw line for the first time tonight, 62% on the season.
2:28 to go. Grant trying to make it a 2-possession ball game.
12 points and 16 rebounds for the senior.
13 and 16 now. She had 16 and 19 in her lone game a week ago against Life. 60-56. Over the timeline, thrown ahead. Right wing, there's Taylor. Working downhill, blocked by Angela Grant. I'd call that help defense.
It's pretty helpful,
yeah.
I would say.
Grant able to crash from the free throw line and get to the block for the clean block. Now Taylor buries that one.
Tough shot over the outstretched arms of the defender. Gets it before Grant arrives with the help. Cuts the lead back down to 2.
Adams dribbles it out to Grant at the elbow. Back out. Burrows. Johns on the deck, spins through, up, and tried to feed it back to Grant. Couldn't get the pass wrapped around the defender. 2-point game and a chance to tie it or take the lead for the Toppers. Two-point game, 1:50 to play. Ball thrown in by Carlson. Carmen Taylor on the basketball. Works left, downhill, up, feeds it back to Charmin Taylor. And a whistle.
Is it a foul or was it step on the end line? It was step on the end line, so it's a turnover for Blue Mountain.
They will set up their press look, though, with 1:37 to play. Big deal for Faulkner here. Burn clock, get a good look.
Absolutely.
No reason to shoot a 3 unless it's the only look you have. Adams over the timeline.
I'm almost right here. I don't know if I just wouldn't go 4 low and let Adams work something by herself.
Burrows all the way.
Tough
He gets it
take.
to go. Avaya Burrows has come to life in the second half. 12 points in the second half for her. 4-point game. Pulling top of the key. No good. Adams the board. And they back off.
They back off, okay.
They're content to let them bring it down the floor.
Use as much clock as you can. If they're going to let you stand up there and dribble the basketball, do it.
2-possession game, 25-second difference between shot and game. For Faulkner, burn the clock, get into the lane, and look for something. Maybe they foul you.
Good
Adams
pass.
Grant off the glass, got her on rebound, put it back and good. Stat padding is Angela Grant.
15 and 17 now. More importantly, a 6-point lead, 3-point attempt off.
Shot clock off as well. Adams the steal, and that's going to do it. They'll foul Adams, but barring something catastrophic, Faulkner's going to get out of here tonight with a win. They had a 13-point lead melt away. They had a 9-point lead melt away. They're up 6 with 13 seconds left and the ball. So they won't get to go to the line here, just the third team foul on Blue Mountain. But now you just get the basketball in.
Yeah, you got to find a way, if you can, to use as much of this 13 seconds as you possibly can. Obviously, Blue Mountain's going to be out here to foul. So you got to get your best free throw shooters on the court and get them in position to be the ones to initially catch the basketball.
64-58 is the lead. This one has had such pace that we haven't been able to get to your emails. Grayson Plunkett emails. Our buddy says, missing working with my FSN crew tonight. Getting a bad cold is not a fun thing. Hope to be back up and running next game. Go Eagles. So a computer virus has Grayson Plunkett down tonight. Khalil Bibb says watching from, it came up Aville, Khalil. So, hopefully I get it right. He says soon I'll be joining at the start of the fall semester and joining the basketball team as well. Great to hear from you, Khalil. 64-58. 13.4 to play. Varnell will inbound the basketball. Left side, back up to Grant, and a foul. Just the fourth, so they can foul one more time. Michelle Burrows' email says, way to go, Avaya, great game. Nana and Pa are watching from Tennessee. And what a second half Burrows has had.
Absolutely.
14-5 with an assist and a block for her in this one. Second leading scorer, tied with Neely Johns for the second leading scorer in the game. Angela Grant, 15 and 17 leads Faulkner, as well as 3 blocks. Sharnita Brooks with 18 is the game high. And there's the foul to put Adams to the line. Already 10 points to her credit.
11.1, 10 points, like you said, to Adams' credit, but even more importantly, 7 rebounds, 4 assists here on the night, continuing that streak of being able to move the basketball and get other players good, clean looks.
Free throw from Adams rattles off. One more coming. 7 boards, 4 assists, 10 points. Missed that one as well. And the rebound bouncing around is only helpful for Faulkner's cause. So that burned about 2.5, 3 seconds before they could get to it and get the timeout called. So now it's a 6-point game with 8.6 to play.
You obviously like to hit at least one of those free throws, but that might not be the worst thing in the world. Let those 3 seconds burn off the clock before they can get that timeout called.
Yeah, free throws different than a 2-possession and 3-possession game, which is quite significant. This is a full timeout by Blue Mountain. We're going to keep it here. You're Faulkner. You're trying to wrap this one up and get to 17-4 on the season. And again, in conference play, that's the real key. Bruton Parker's win over Loyola a week ago gives you a chance. You're a game back at Loyola, and you control your own destiny.
But you've got to go to Loyola, beat them there, and you got to go to Bruton Parker Saturday, or is it Thursday?
I believe it's Thursday this week. Yeah. I'll tell you in a minute. So that's the key, is that you control your own destiny. So losing this one would have taken that away from you, and Faulkner got to hold on for 8.6 seconds here to accomplish that. They will go to Bruton Parker on Thursday and then to Loyola next Thursday. Ball thrown in and heaved by Taylor, missed and rebounded by Adams, and that's going to do it. So Faulkner will get it done tonight. They lost a 13-point lead. They lost a 9-point lead. They're going to win the ball game. 64-58, the final score. And, David, you can't say enough about the way that Faulkner finished this game, they trailed 56-54 with 3:18 to play, and they end the ball game on a 10-2 run.
Yeah, it's a great way to close this basketball game out and get yourself in position to keep this advantage or keep your spot where you are in the league. And that's all comes from leadership, being able to do that and recognize that the opportunity that's before you, and these ladies did that here tonight and closed out a good game against a very, very tough Blue Mountain team.
Angela Grant, 15 points, 17 rebounds, 3 blocks. 14 points for Neely Johns, 14 points for Avaya Burrows, 10 for Nicoya Adams. Sharnita Brooks with 18, and Carmen Taylor with 14. Alexis Wynn with 11. Those are the leaders for Blue Mountain. And from a percentage standpoint, 38.5% from the floor for Faulkner, 33.3% from the floor for Blue Mountain. Blue Mountain shoots 38 and almost 39% from three, but Faulkner uncharacteristically very good from three tonight, 41%. 9 of 22, and they end up, they were dead even in all these categories at halftime, but Faulkner ends up winning almost all the ancillary categories.
Yeah, winning the rebound battle 45-38, 14 of those on the offensive end, which led to probably their biggest advantage, second chance points, 17 second chance points for the Lady Eagles here tonight as opposed to 8 for Blue Mountain on the night. And that leads ultimately to the win by getting those extra shots and those extra possessions there within the framework of the basketball game. But you start looking at some of the other ancillary categories, 24 points in the paint for Faulkner, 20 for Blue Mountain. So those things close, but Faulkner had a little bit of an advantage. Biggest advantage for Blue Mountain was the great play they got off the bench tonight. We talked about it, both from Brooks and Wynn. Both of them had incredible games here tonight and were really huge parts for Blue Mountain, especially with Sharman Taylor being in foul trouble for much of this ball game.
11-9 is your record for Blue Mountain at the conclusion of this one. 4-8 in the league. Faulkner goes to 17-4 overall, and now 9-2 in the SSAC. They're on the road on Thursday against Blue Mountain. Next Thursday against Loyola. Our next broadcast, Saturday, February the 4th at noon. Faulkner hosting Mobile. Saturday, February the 4th at noon. The next time we're here for a Faulkner Lady Eagle broadcast. For John Mounts and Buddy Bagsby, for David Turner, I'm Jeremy Smith. This has been the Faulkner Sports Network presentation of Faulkner Lady Eagle basketball. Good night, and God bless you.